his life, about what is going on. At least they were to be of help, but all of a sudden they even told him out, because Iyabo Ojo knows Wunmi very well. Iyabo Ojo is Iyasale, gives girls to all these politicians, to all the rich men in Lagos State. As a matter of fact, Nigeria as a whole, and she has been using Wunmi for such a business. Wunmi is a shana herself. Thank you, sir. So now, Nigerian government, we are calling on you, because Wunmi actually paid Mohbad on Monday morning at about 3 a.m. And Wunmi did not call the father of his boyfriend. Whosoever that is with a deceased, we have to. Such person needs to be questioned. What happened? Whether you are a wife, whether you are a girlfriend, whether you are a partner or a bed mate, we need to ask question, and that is why we are asking question. Nigerian government, we want you to call Wunmi in. 15 people in the house, including Iyabo Ojo herself, including Iya Wunmi, including Iya Adura, which is Bosede. We want you to call each and every one of them in. They all in the death of Ileri Oluwa Oladimeji Aloba. We are also calling on you, the Nigerian government. Phone forensic is what we are calling on. We are calling on you to do a phone forensic. The father of the boy said, take my phone, and all the policemen, the police station Baba Mohbad carried Mohbad to, go in there, question each and every one of them. Call all the hospitals. We lied to us that she took Ileri Oluwa to. We need questions. We need questions of what happens in Ileri Oluwa. And secondly, sir, Mr. President, if you can hear us right now, you have your own son. His name is Sheyi. No, if anyone kills Sheyi, I know that definitely in one day, your son, you will make sure your son, you fished out the killer of your son. The same thing should be done on Ileri Oluwa Oladimeji, Promise Aloba as well. And again, we want to tell you the DNA is a must. You must do the DNA.
Thank you so much. God bless you, Gladys Olayonimi. Over to you, General 870. Are you there, General? Okay.
I would love to say more, but unfortunately,
that's all right.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, your network is okay.
Yes, I wish I can say more, but I'm distracted, busy, and all of that. But all we require, all we are asking for is DNA. DNA is a must. And Wunmi must go down. Okay? Fẹ́ justice abẹ́lé o. Fẹ́ justice abẹ́lé o. Give her the right, give Ileri Oluwa the right justice he deserves. Pípa ẹni tó bá pa èèyàn, bó ṣe yẹ kí wọ́n pa òun náà padà yẹn. So therefore, justice for Mohbad is certain, justice for Mohbad is sure. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you very much. Once again, God bless you. General 870, are you there? Okay, like General 870 is busy. Let's go to Olayinka. Olayinka, are you there, please? Okay, but Olaika is not there. Wizzy, you are up. Do you want to say something? Okay. Thank you all for everything you have done. Let's quickly move to the celebrations of one of our own, Director Ishad Pikin. Today is her birthday. I don't know, maybe it's he or she, but let me assume it's she. Today is our birthday.
So, but I had to do it because I don't know. It just comes natural. So so that was the thing. So that was why I wasn't coming up. But when it got to a point when I felt that okay, now if I see something, maybe some people will understand and will sort of like look into that direction. That was when I felt I should come up, and that was when I started coming up. Yeah.
Because me, when I joined when they were doing the burial. So, and if I tell you that ever since I've been on TikTok, I never knew you could have a second account or create another account. No.
Really?
Now, it's in this justice I learned all those things, having second accounts, putting your account on private, all this in this justice I never knew. If I knew, like I said, I would have created a different one aside this one that I'm using. But you know what? I'm glad I joined with my real account because, nothing bad has happened, so it's good. But I never knew you could have two accounts until this justice that I could hear that, oh, you can have two accounts. You can log in with the other. And for me to even create another account, I had to ask how to even do it and how to even privatize my account. I never knew. I just came in like a human being. I'm not saying people who came with fake account are not human beings, so, but I'm just saying, so I'm fine anyway.
It just shows that you just came in like you were just being natural.
Really, yeah.
You had nothing to hide.
When Tinubu, even before Tinubu, when they were coming in, they would say EFCC will be neutral. They will have autonomy. They will have their independence. Nobody has come to power and free EFCC. See, all these things, the system, is not even the American system democracy. It's not even the Western system democracy. Because of everything that is going on in Nigeria, I've been in Nigeria since January. And when I want to sleep at night, I just like, what the frick is going on in this country? Nothing works. Nothing works the way normal people, everybody that is coming on TikTok and Instagram, and a lot of us will come, but we cannot go out and do the right thing. I'm not saying go and march or go and protest or anything. When you go out daily, do we all obey the law? When somebody stops us and we don't have a document, do we say that I don't have the document, please write me a ticket? Or demand the ticket to be written and go to the office and do correction? That is what the law says. You go to whether last man or what is their office, do the right thing and encourage people to do the right thing. I've never seen anybody coming on TikTok and say, police stopped me today. By the way, I paid 25,000. I went to their office, record every process to educate people and say, this is, yes, it was my mistake. I used the wrong lane. I used the BRT lane. I won't do that, but please, everybody, let's adhere to the rules and regulations. See, if everybody adheres to the rules and regulation that is stated in the paper, it will be difficult for police to be corrupt. The moment you are stopped that you are driving on BRT lane that you are not supposed to drive on, you are saying, okay, so what you like to do? Can you take this 5,000? And you've given him the right to ask for what? 50,000. You've shown him that you are guilty, and he's going to perpetuate on it.
So, Takuma, if you don't mind me interjecting at this point, we've mentioned, there's been a couple of mentions of the state autonomy and this community-based autonomy. I mean, is this something we're suggesting? Is it suggesting at this point in time? Is this something that works? Is it going to work? Is there a process in place to implement it? How is it going to work?
It is something that will work. I don't want to go to Sowore revolution, but it's something that can work. But it cannot be dictated from the so-called federal or state, because nobody wants to leave power. Trust me, the National Assembly will not want to leave power. The presidency will not want to reduce its power, because the presidency is always supposed to be there to control and collect national benefits and spread it around for the people. It's supposed to be the local entity that's supposed to take what is good for the local entity in Lagos is not good for the local entity in Kaduna or Bauchi or in Enugu. Everybody has their differences. You see, you cannot, wake up Sunday and say this is the rule for the. There are some fundamental rules that we need to adhere to. Fundamental rules of law. But when it comes to governing, it should be more self-governing for the local entities than states. Look at how it is now. Can you believe National Assembly is debating creating more states? From where? Solo Wunmi. If they went somewhere and brought some more land, you are taking a land from a state or states, and you are creating another state. What are you creating? Bureaucracy.
Is that not nepotism then? Is it not a situation?
Yeah, that's why I call it
ground for our boys. Create new offices for our boys and spread them, from 19 states, 16, is it 16, 19 or whatever states to 26?
I disagree. All the states should be let go. No more states. We have 74, there means 774 local governments in the constitution. If they want to readjust the local government, create more, let them create it and let it stay there. You cannot be creating inside creation. And what is the rule to create the local government? Use per square meter and create it equally. If one local government only have 2 people in it, when that local government needs more people in the local government, you'll be surprised people will move there. Because if we are all congested in Lagos, and Zamfara has 25 local government, and there is a local government there, which Zamfara will have income, and there is a local government there that needs people to come and work and do business with them, people will leave Lagos and go there.
Yeah,
if they are offering, hold on, sir. If they are offering tax rebate for company to make life easy for their products or their services, and it is beneficiary to the company, they will move there. Why is everybody in Lagos State? I've been in Lagos for the past since January, and I've never seen so crowded, and it's getting worse. Like G Bank says, people are arriving daily from other parts of the country, not only from the north. Everybody wants to be in Lagos. Find a system that will spread. Look at us in US. I can live in one state, move to another state. I can live because you look for job. You don't concentrate. Imagine everybody concentrating in Lagos and Texas and Chicago. You see, there are benefits now in US that invites people to come and live in their state, and they will give $1,500 to start you up with. I'm sure people who has US phone number addresses will have seen it. Let's decongest the system. Eliminate the House of Rep, the Senate, turn it into, let everybody go back to their local government and be the chairman.
You see, we're one directional in the way we look at life sometimes, maybe as Africans, maybe as Nigerians. It's part of our orientation, really, that the only direction we point our heads is where we believe there is prosperity. And because the states in Nigeria are not independent, they're not creative enough to generate their own wealth, they're still reaching out to the federal government for source of income. It will then be extremely difficult, really, to promote your own state and actually see your state as the one that we commandeer.
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. That is the Western.
Bring more business in. But the thing is, as it is, where we are at the moment, and as engineer did mention, it did say something about not just talking about it, not just bringing the facts, but actually making things happen in principality. Because, yes, everybody wants to be in Lagos. I'm sure sometimes ago when the capital...
you see what I'm talking about?
Moved to Abuja.
And this thing was not around 4 or 5 years ago.
Even when the capital city moved to Abuja, it was actually thought that will be the place to be in the next whatever. And look at the place. The place is as barren as it can be. I've had experience. I've been to Abuja so many times. Every time I'm in Nigeria, I can't really kind of see the way forward apart from a location where you have your presidency and you have more like a lot of vacant properties, less prosperity. It's just a little small enclave where people do a bit of commercial business, but there isn't really anything in there, anything futuristic, other than what it is or what it was. It hasn't changed. Lagos is congested. There isn't anything in Nigeria to kind of say, okay, let's go to Maiduguri, let's go to Abeokuta, let's actually look at other neighboring states that we can expand. Maybe 3 states can come together, put money in the court, kind of just put infrastructure in place, just work collaboratively, and actually sort of like do a mix where you then have the spread. And these are the kind of things we don't have. We just spawning off, as Jack said, and I think everybody has actually said the same thing about this nonsensical constitution that we get to rely on, and we think is going to change our life, change our perception about the future. There's going to be some kind of revolution. How many revolutions are we going to have? How many times are we going to amend the constitution? And how long is it going to take for us to actually realize that Nigeria is not going to work in the current state? So, what do we need to do? How do we get through to the system, the legislation? How do we get root to the ruling party, the presidency, to actually allow them to understand that if you're going to come to the UK and you're going to tell us what you've achieved in 2 years, Nigeria is actually running backwards. Doesn't really matter how many federal framework you're going to put in place and how many companies are lining up to come and do business in Nigeria. And I really will say to those companies, and I can actually bet my last penny with anyone, that none of the framework they put in place and any form of process they put in place is going to be here in 2 years' time. We're going to be talking about something totally different. This country is going backwards, is going nowhere. I'm not sure whether these guys think we are stupid. And I'm sure, yes, I welcome the fact that people will see the pluses and the minuses aspect of progress where applicable at federal level. But at federal level, if you see any movement and you see any progress, it probably will be in the state that you reside. It might not actually be in the most populous state in Nigeria. It might not be in Lagos. Because I would like someone who lives in Lagos to come and tell me Lagos is working. Queen Abiki, do you want to speak?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. I had something. What I was trying to say when I said revolution, I meant revolution of our minds, right? You understand? A lot of Nigerians are ignorant about the system itself. My problem with Nigerians today is the fact that they don't know their rights. You are in Ibadan. Ibadan is not developing. You have a governor who's receiving allocation from the federal government and he's not doing anything. They are not creative, like you said, IT guy. They are not creative to bring in, jobs, create jobs and what. They're not doing all that. If we have about 10 states in Nigeria who are close to Lagos, the development that Lagos State is having, I think will be better. Nigeria will be better. There will be less shouting of we are hungry. Everyone is migrating. Everyone is trying to get to Lagos. Ibadan is right there, very close to Lagos. Abeokuta. What is stopping them from developing? Because Abeokuta, Ibadan should be a place just like in America. You can live. What I would say, I can literally live in a place. I'll drive about an hour and a half to work and still come back home to my family. And there's a train system that should work, that people should be able to work in Ibadan and come back home to Lagos, or Lagos, vice versa. But these state governors are not doing their work, and their people are not fighting them. Instead, everyone channels their fight to the federal government. It's very stupid. We keep talking, a lot of people come here and say, oh, the Western world, in the Western world. In the Western world, when things are not going the way it's supposed to go, or even if the school system is not going, who do you attack first? Your local people. You work with your local people first. And then you channel it to, your state government, and then your reps. But people are not doing that in Nigeria. Instead, they walk around and call themselves rat-tellers. That's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. You can take all the placard, like you said, we don't need to come out anymore.
Before we start reaching out to our dictionary, what's this rattlers nonsense all about anyway?
That ratter is some skunk animal. I don't know how to. It's the name of an animal. As long as I know, and it's not a pretty animal.
I'm looking at it from the point of view of not just the dictionary, meaning that's just a bit of joke, but from the point of view of our youth, I'm sure it will actually it will be leaning more to their community more than most. I mean, what benefit is that rubbish all about anyway?
I don't know. I don't know the benefit they are doing. I think I'm not totally against VDM. He could have been very, very effective as a youth leader, a self-proclaimed youth leader. He could have been very effective if he would just stay away from all the nonsense and the shenanigans, attacking people unnecessarily. You don't need that. Use the law, use the system to change the system. All this coming online, instigating the youth against the government and all that, it's not going to work. You come here, you challenge the government, and they come after you, and you'll be like, oh, they are coming after me. No, you're not a victim. I don't like that about him. I don't hate him, but there are some things that just don't make any sense with the way he goes about it. Nigeria we need a change in Nigeria. Look, I'm okay, but I'm a social democratic person. I have empathy for people. I feel people's pain when they are in pain. People are hungry in that country. It's not fair. It's not right. We don't need capitalism. Capitalism is draining Nigeria right now. We need a social democracy.
The thing is, capitalism will always work if you create a system that is structured, and you know that you're gonna pump something into it, and you're gonna get something out of it. It's gonna be monitored. It's gonna be moderated. There is gonna be the fear factor in there. You're gonna be accountable. So it is kind of intertwined. It's more like a zone.
But IT guy right now in Nigeria,
a certain way to be able to benefit from it.
I'll be conservative. In Nigeria, almost 80% of the people are poor. We don't have a middle class. Capitalism is not working for us. We need to make the field a playing level a little bit. things are not working in Nigeria. Look, if I want to be selfish, I'm okay. I don't have to worry about what is going on. But it's sad that you go to Nigeria, you drive on the streets, or you get out of your house, and then you feel like you have to help everybody you meet on the streets. That's not a good feelings.
I think G Banks did mention something similar, and everybody is actually literally saying the same thing. And I really welcome the fact that he's able to tell us what is being done or achieved at federal level, but at local level, you can feel his fear, in his tone, as in like this is not looking good. Because if you have all the youth that are disenfranchised in the northern part of the country, they really don't have anyone to inspire them. They don't have mentors. And once they get to Lagos at that point in time, it's either you give us something or we take you down or whatever the case may be. And you can just think about the same thing. Maybe this is the rat race and this rat rubbish you talk about. and some of it will be, we are going to Lagos, we are going to work in the oil refinery. So if you're going to go to Lagos, you want to go and work in oil refinery and you don't even have a skill.
Exactly.
What do they do there? Do they just give you a bucket? So just go in there and just pump it from here and use the bucket to go and put it in the tank. I don't understand. What
IT guy, can I please just
go on?
Can I say something?
Go on.
Yeah, you see, well, I was listening to Jibeng. Yeah, Jibeng, hope you're good. Yeah, you see, at the end of his own submission, when he submitted that way, then I was like, okay, cool, fine. That was good for me. You see, what he said, the way his submission went, you can see that sharply negated the so-called achievements that he listed. Look, people need to understand something, because don't lie to yourself. We need to be honest. Personally, I let me tell you, IT guy, if not because you brought me up, you requested me to come up, I would never come up. I don't go up anywhere they're discussing politics of Nigeria. It's none of my business. Because I know people get what they deserve. So I don't bother myself.
Well, it's
so
good
now,
to have you here. It's good to have you here.
IT guy, yeah, I know. It's been fun anyway. The thing is, this: if you, let me put it like this, a government, why do people put government in place? Why do they elect government? They elect them to serve them for their service, not service to themselves. So now, if you, as a government official, elected official, if you are going to come up with any policies or programs, economic policy or whatever policy, it should be tailored towards favoring the people. It has to be the one that will serve the people. So if you do anything that will have negative impact on the so-called people you're serving, on the so-called people that you are protecting, the people that that are your subjects, then that means there's a problem. Because look at this. Once you ask a question, what was the standard of living before Tinubu, when Tinubu took over? What was the cost of living when he took over? What was it like? The people, how were they like? What was the cost of this? What was the cost of that? But today, now ask yourself, what is the standard of living of the same people? What is now the cost of living? Because, look, people can say things. I'm happy what Jerry quickly said, because he can feel it. He lives there. I don't live there. But I don't live there, but I can hear things, and I hear things. I know that place is hellfire for people. As it is now, that country is hellfire. So now, look, if your policies have human face, you don't need to start explaining yourself. You don't need to start telling people. You don't need to start ringing jingles or doing jingles or whatever. The people can feel it. That's what they call policies. If you remove subsidy,